So I've come to the final video, the last saying of Christ. And I want to have a quick look back over all the pages I've done through Lent. So we start here with Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing. This one is truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. And this one is a second page that I did that week on the same saying. This one is Woman, here is your son, here is your mother. My God, why have you forsaken me? I am thirsty. And it is finished. So this week I'm looking at Luke 23:46. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. I have the page here from my old big King James Bible, which has Luke 23 on it. And I noticed that the margin note for verse 46 says, should be our daily prayer. And that really spoke to me. So I'll explain why later, but here I've gone through my collage bits and I've selected a few things that represent the way God has transformed my life over the past year. So this first one just represents connection, and then we've got a loaf of bread because I did a lot of baking, and a couple of bits of my spirograph. I bought a spirograph just to try new things. I've really felt God encouraging to try new things. And the pictures of cats are because I've always had a difficult relationship with cats, but that's changed over the past year. This represents my connection with people from overseas and particularly in America. And then I've got the keep loving and the heart, which represents my home life at the moment. Some of my writing, which represents the way I've been talking to God through writing my prayers. And lots of butterflies because they always represent transformation for me. And also some machine stitching that I've been trying, another new thing that I've been doing recently, and I've really felt God pushing me just to try new ways of being creative and having fun. And I've really loved using my new sewing machine to do some freestyle embroidery, I think it's called. And connect was my word of the year for 2021. And the image of a bee represents that for me. I also pulled out a few words from my stash of words collected from magazines, and they generally represent my home life and feelings of love and connection and really getting to know each other. I also had the feeling that I'd want to put myself on the page there somewhere, and so I printed out a little picture. So my plan as I went along was to put all my collage pieces on the left-hand side of the page. So I'm just arranging them and deciding how I want them, and then I'm going to use matte medium to stick them all down. So for this particular journal page, I was thinking a lot about this being the final thing, the very last recorded words that Jesus said before he died on the cross. So it also signifies the hope of Easter Sunday and the resurrection. We're anticipating the day when Christ rises from the dead and the knowledge that we too are born again with Christ. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 11 says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here. For me, this verse in Luke 23:46 represents transformation. And I wanted to celebrate that by collaging some elements that would help me thank God for all he's done. I've been making a conscious effort to commit myself to him more and more recently, and he's really done some amazing things in the past year. With the anniversary of the first lockdown in March, we've all been thinking about the last year and everything that's happened. As I was collaging, I was praying and thanking God for everything, particularly how close our family has become over lockdown. I know that some families have really struggled, and I can't say we haven't had our moments, but overall we've become a lot closer, got to know each other better, and we've shown each other grace and love more times than I can count. I'm so proud of my kids and how they've handled this past year. I ended up sticking down the whole Bible page using Map Medium, and then I wanted to push back the writing, so I used some gesso mixed with just a drop of ink, which is burnt umber. And here I'm just using some of the burnt umber ink to kind of create a frame around the page. I was thinking about the daily prayer of "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit," and I wanted to draw God's hands. What a challenge! Anyway, I found a picture of cupped hands on Pinterest and used that as a reference. I'm using a water-soluble graphite pencil here to draw in the outline of the hands. I'm activating the graphite here with a damp brush just to get some initial shading in. Now I'm using my Stabilo All Black pencil just to get some darker areas. When that's all dry, I'm using some High Flow acrylics by Golden. This is Permanent Violet Dark. And I'm starting by adding it into the darker areas. Then I'm going to use my wet brush just to draw that ink out a bit. I'm using purple to signify the sovereignty of God. So here I want to literally place myself in God's hands, and I'm also using a butterfly to signify my transformation. So I'm just going to use matte medium to stick them down. So here I'm using my letter stamps and my StazOn ink pad to stamp down the Bible verse. Some of the stamps haven't come out that well, so I'm just going over those with a black Posca pen. Here I'm just trying to push back some of those black marks I made when I was stamping. The white pen wasn't really working very well, so I just used a bit of Titan Buff paint. So that's it, my Lent series is finished. This journey has been amazing and I've learnt so much. And I want to thank you for being on that journey with me. I would love to hear how God has worked in your life through this Lent series. So you can comment in the Lent Facebook group or you can send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. God bless you.